Alright, this is a demo for LingoLearn, a capstone design project for CSCIE 99. So this is the start of the app, the home page when you first log in. The app uses the Google Plus ID, so that's how we authenticate and authorize the user. So I'm going to show you the student perspective first. First, the student will be asked to log in. When they click on sign in, they'll be prompted to log in with their Gmail account, which I'll do here. When they come in, after they've logged in, they're given the home screen. Now we can see this user is already enrolled in one course. Now let's say that we want to log in to a new course. We can go over to enroll. We're able to see any available course that is currently open to us. And so there's a drop-down list, and I'll just choose the one that I just created earlier called Learn Japanese. By clicking on enroll, this user is now enrolled in the course, and we're taken directly to the course homepage. We see that the instructor name, and we see that there's two assignments currently. One is a lesson assignment, and another is a quiz assignment. So the lesson assignments, these are the traditional flashcards. We're taking the decks and displaying them as traditional flashcards, and you can choose to see maybe the kanji, and then guess what the translation is, the hiragana, and then guess what the translation is. This is really focused on Japanese. So let's go ahead and try hiragana translation, since I see later I've got a quiz on the translation to hiragana mapping. And so this is the sort of flashcard view, the lesson view. I'm given the hiragana. When I flip the card, I'm given the translation, and now I have to just tell the app whether I knew it or not, essentially. And this drives the spaced repetition algorithm to see if this card's going to come back again. So I had no clue on that one. Notice that there's a keyboard shortcut I could use as well. So that allows me to hit space to flip it, and then 1, 2, or 3 to decide whether or not I knew the answer. So I'll say no again. And we can continue in this manner. And hopefully by doing this, I'll start to learn the hiragana. If I want to go back to the course, I can click the back to the course button. And now maybe I want to decide if I'm ready or not to take the quiz. Now I'm able to look at what my past results for a given lesson are. And so you see, for this tested confusers deck, I had no clue 66% of the time, and I kind of knew things 33% of the time. So generally, I would not be ready to take this quiz, but for this demo, I'll go ahead and take it. The quizzes use the same flashcard information, but they're displayed in a multiple choice quiz form. And so you'll see that the English translation is there, and then the alternative options, one of these is the right answer, and then a couple of these are created using a confuser algorithm, and that is what provides. You notice that these last two options look very similar, and that's because the confuser algorithm is showing the right sort of an obfuscation of the right answer. And so I guessed the wrong one in this case. Notice it shook a little bit, and then it shows me what the right answer was. Again, keyboard shortcuts are here, and so again I see confusers. All these answers look very similar. I'll try this one. I could say 1, 2, 3, or 4 on the keyboard. Submit it. I was wrong again. Let's see if I can actually get one. Nope. I'll try this guy. I'm striking out here. Anyway, you can see you can continue in this manner. And when I go back to the course, much like the lessons, my statistics for the actual course are shown on the analytics page. So that's the kind of the general student view. I'd like to show you the instructor view now. And for this is the same course. I'm just going to refresh the page now. There's more data there. And now, since this user is the instructor, they can see a pie chart of how the students are doing on as a whole on the various flashcards. Each student is broken out, so they can see, okay, we've got one person enrolled, and here's how they're doing on the flashcards as a whole. And I can also go and choose a given assignment and scope the analytics specifically for that. So if I choose tested confusers, now it's going to show me this user's results only for that particular assignment. In this case, they're the same. So if I wanted to add a new assignment, since I'm the instructor, I can do that. Click on add, and then I select from a list of decks that now I can choose. I can either create a lesson assignment, which is the general flashcard assignment, or I can create a quiz, and the quizzes they have specific combinations, and so I can choose whether or not to use the confuser algorithm, and I can choose which combination I would like. So there's already a translation hiragana one. Maybe I'll try a translation kanji, and maybe this time I'll choose not to use the confuser. So I'll create that quiz assignment. And now if the student was to go and she returns at some point later, she now sees the translation kanji quiz. This one's not going to use the confusers. And so you'll notice that instead of seeing similar options, we're seeing options that are from the same deck. So these are all kanji from this particular deck. Hey, I got one right. Nice. So I'll go back to the course. And let me go back to the instructor view right now. So this is the instructor view. I'll go back to this course. And now, again, I can choose this new assignment that I've just created to see how people are doing on it. And so we see this user got 50% right. So that's the general workflow. When you add an assignment, you'll notice that if you want to add to this list of decks, you can click on Upload Deck, and then you would choose a file, and it would be a tab-separated value file, and it would look something like this, where you specify the kanji and the hiragana translation, and then you give the deck a name. We won't do that right now. So the last thing I want to touch on is how to create a course. If I wanted to create a new course, I would click on New. I could give the course a name, my fancy course, and I can choose a spaced repetition algorithm. This applies to the entire course. The Lightner system and the random, just general random, are the two options we have. I'll click on Create, and now I've got a course that users can enroll in, and I can add assignments to. Additionally, while users go through the flashcards, we're collecting data for everything, what they click on and stuff like that, and that's all available from the Research tab. And so when I click on Research, I can get a general summary of student metrics, or I can get course-specific data. So for this particular course that I just created, or in Japanese, I can specify a date range, maybe yesterday to tomorrow. And then I can prepare a download for either the flashcard data or the quiz data. So let me try the quiz data right here. What this is doing is it's creating a data URI, which I can then save, and it saves as a CSV file. If I was to then look at this CSV file, we would see details about what the user did. We see for for this particular course, I'm able to look at the kanji that were presented, what the hiragana were, and then whether or not they got the answer correct. True or false is true is correct, false is incorrect. And then we can also even see what their wrong answer was, or what the wrong answers were that were presented to the user. So, and this helps us to know what the confuser algorithm was essentially throwing at the user. So generally that's it. It's a fairly straightforward application. Thank you very much.